have to talk about Nora Hopton. She came in after she succeeded Mercy Tego, and her job was simple. She had to revitalize this Black Stars women's squad that had always been trying to qualify for games and also showing no significant progress in defense or attack. She was able to, however, do all of these things, and by the magic of her power, she has been able to trail us through 7 games and with gotten 7 wins, and with a goal difference of 28 with conceding 0, which is an average of maybe 4 goals per game. But what you can say is that she has revitalized the attack, and we hope for more success. Probably the one thing that Mr. Kentukreku may have gotten right in terms of the appointment of a new women's national team coach. Now on to the men's national team. The Black Stars of Ghana also had to struggle in their bid to qualify for AFCON 2023, which is going to be hosted in Cote d'Ivoire. Now, in the first game against Central African Republic, they did concede, but however, Ernest Duama was able to bag his first Ghanaian goal for the national side, and we were able to stroll in there and win the game by 2-1 to not only send us top of the table, but to qualify for our next edition of AFCON in 2023. The last time that we failed to qualify was back in 2004, and this time we are keeping a consistent trend in qualifying games, and we are finally being able to get ourselves a ticket to the biggest African continental competition in the whole of Africa. Now, to the most pressing point of the whole video, which is the CAF competitions update. Both Mediama and Dreams FC have officially qualified to the group stages of the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup respectively. The two sides were able to see off serious opposition from both teams that they faced, and were able to qualify under, if not, tense circumstances. For Dreams FC, it was simple. Their first challenge was against Milo FC. Well, everyone knows that the Milo is good, and they were able to beat them both home and away for the first time to qualify to the next round to take on FC Cologne. And with that, Cologne also proved a very, very feisty battle. But because of their first leg win at Accra, their second leg where they had to travel because at the time Cologne did not have any good fixtures, so they played it at a neutral venue. They also held their nerve and were able to qualify. They were able to get to the money zone for the first time since Kumasi Asante Kotoko. That was back in 2018 when they were playing in the CAF Confederations Cup, and that was the manager at the time was CK Akono. The team, now managed by one of their very trusted coaches that they brought in during last season, is now hoping to be able to balance the sides of the League Cup, the FA Cup, and the CAF Confederations Cup. And now we are guaranteed at least 6 games worth of CAF Confederation football, which might be live on GTV Sports Plus should they be able to hold on to the TV rights. Now for Mediama, their battle was never easy. They had to take on Vimo Stars, who were the champions of Nigeria, by the way, in the CAF Confederations Cup. They won their first game here in Cape Coast Sports Stadium, which was a very good thing. But the problem was they sent a 1-0 lead to Nigeria, and in the 81st minute, Remo Stars in the second leg scored a goal and made it 1-1 on aggregate, and we had to go to penalties. And the penalties, well, everyone knows that penalties is Ghanaian's worst curse or the worst enemy. It's sort of like Superman in Kryptonite. You know Superman is strong, but when Kryptonite comes, it happens. But this time around, Mediama were able to actually win the penalty shootout, and the best part about it was that their goalkeeper was able to make not 1, not 2, but 3 important penalties, which were able to sail Mediama through to the group stages. To the next round of the competition, in which they faced AC Horoya, who are participating in the African Football League, which is supposed to be organized by both CAF and FIFA. It's sort of a way to, test the waters on them trying to create an African Super League, but they rebranded it as the African Football League. Anyway, they faced the same team as AC Horoya. They won the game here at Cape Coast again, but this time sending a 3-goal lead against Horoya's 1 into the second leg. And into the second leg, Horoya were trying their best, but then Mediama got an away goal, again making that tie 4-1, which was very important. Now the problem was that after they scored, Koroya came back with 2 goals, and the match had 9 minutes to elapse the whole timeline before they could score. So the tie was 2-1, and they needed to hold on, and gratefully so, Bidiema have become the first side since breaking Chelsea that won the league back in 2011 to enter the group stages of the competition right now in 2023. And this time around, the CAF 5-year update has been updated, and because of the ability to remove Nigerian opposition in the first round, they have lost their place in the top 12. A reminder, for those who do not know, the top 12 teams in the African coefficient ranking, or the top 12 leagues, or countries to be exact, they get to enter 2 teams each in both competitions depending on their coefficients where they will be placed in the qualifying zone. For example, House of Folk had not been in the competition for a while, but because of their club coefficient, they were able to skip past the first round and enter into one of the second rounds at the time. This time around, they have had to play the whole thing. So now the group stages, or the expanded group stages, will now consist of 16 teams in the competition. A small feat, but at the end of the day, and instead of maybe getting no return from their CAF adventures in case maybe they lost in the first round or the second qualifying round, they actually get a 6-figure deal, which is going to be guaranteed for their travels. So a good step for Ghana football. We only need at least 4 more seasons to enter the group stages before maybe we might actually get that coefficient update to be able to push us into the top 12 so that we can enter not 2 but 4 teams. The Bet Power Premier League in the month of September was chaotic to start this whole season, as the 3 promoted sides, Bofakwata, Nations FC, and Pando House of Lions, all propping up the top half of the table, which is a little bit astonishing. But we'll first start off with the big boys and the defending champions, Bidiema Sporting Club. After juggling both the CAF Champions League with their league campaign, it seemed like they were a bit off. They weren't really that consistent when it came to their ability to juggle between the two, because they had to always put their foot up first in the CAF Champions League so that they could get to the money zone and then regard the league as maybe of a training facility. And it didn't help their cause either, as they sold 9 players to Malta and with other transfer needs, and they failed to replace some of them. However, they still were able to keep Jonathan Soa, who was able to get a call up to the national team. They started off the season with a 2-2 draw against Accra Lions, and to be fair, they didn't really play as much as good football as we had hoped, maybe because of jet lag with the first round of the competition against one of their players. I don't know, it's been a while, but they did struggle with jet lag, and yes, they did recover by winning that game. Unfortunately, their second game they lost, so they now have to figure out how to juggle between playing in the league and the CAF Champions League. And the CAF Champions League is not going to be forgiven, because now they are pitted in the 4th pot. The 4th pot is for teams that have little to no coefficient rankings in their club coefficient era. So basically, they are going to in for a battle. For the other side, it's Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and for the team, it's simple. They've gone back to their ex that gave them a lot of their successes, and they tried to work without him. And now that he has come back, there is going to be a lot of changes. It also doesn't help that Coach Kwesi Appiah, who was supposed to be one of the new faces of the management committee, has also gotten a job at the Sudan national team to be their head coach. So he is going to juggle the 2 teams together. It also doesn't help that they've also cut bait with some of the players, although they've replaced with new ones. It's like their previous method of acquiring talent and disposing talent seems a bit off. They've started off their first game against Pando House of Lions, who at their turn had not played a Premiership game since 2013, but they drew at home. It wasn't really that big of an issue, as Kotoko fans said it was a bit of a learning phase, although they were able to show some glimpses of their football in pre-season. However, when they faced Bibiani Gold Stars, the team looked all sorts of trouble as they lost that game by 2 goals to 1, and fans have already started clamoring. I know we've entered October, but yes, they drew again, which means that they are now winless in the season, and they've only claimed 2 points, 1 goal scored, and that was the goal that they used to win. That they used to lose against Viviani Stars. And it's not really going to get better as the fixture list is going to be demanding. Is how Prosperity Ogun is able to galvanize the team, and for the fans, it needs patience. You can't just say fire the coach or we are not investing in much players. It's a progress. You can't force it to be what it is. It takes time. It's like a tree. You can't plant it and then expect flowers and fruit by the end of one day. It takes time. For us, we always have to come back to the same story. It's like every time you take maybe 2 steps forward, they always try to take 10 steps back. Basically, they don't know what they want in terms of how to play football or simply how to actually run a football club. Toby Alfede has learned from his trouble by this time, making sure that only the playing body that is needed for playing body duties are responsible for the players. They have an exceptional new signings, and one of them was Mashallah Ramos, who was scoring goals for Rwanda. However, yes, he did score his first goal for House of Food in their 1-year win, but the problem is that they've been accumulating too many matches. For every premiership game, they want to capitalize with a friendly game. Yes, it's important to keep your legs sharp, but however, jet lag, injuries, they all come in the season and they will hurt you. And with Martin Koopmans trying to establish a new football tactic called total football, which basically is a replicant of what he said he wants to play like Holland. By the way, we'll do a video about that later. The issue is that you can't play this type of total football on grass pitches. And abroad or in Europe or anywhere around the world, we use synthetic hybrid pitches. Here we use, Cutler's cat plant weed. It's not really that sustainable. And if you want to play this type of football or ground football to be exact, it's not going to work well. And so now they have to find a way to mix the two. They have to find a way to play with the natural grass and the artificial. And it also doesn't help their case that they're also playing the artificial grass. So when you go to the natural grass, there's a bit of a mix. So the last thing in the big boys, for any of the boys, Indiana Stars had to deal without Patrice Fabian, who unfortunately left the club. But I figured his time was due. He couldn't carry this team after consecutive title failures. However, the team was able to have a slow start against Samatex, where they lost by 2-0, and were able to recover against Bibiana by beating them by 2-0. It's what we call a bit of a sweetie situation. They will recover from it, but the question is when. That is the issue. For Samatex and Accra Lions, they have been my 2 teams to watch out for in the season because they have been, let's just face it, they are the best teams in the league in terms of playing. That is, Samatex is simple. After losing Coach Arnold Walker, the team, for me, I thought were going to struggle because, let's face it, we lost a master tactician in the name of Arnold Walker who went back to Great Olympics, and we were all thinking that maybe the worst was going to be in. However, they've been able to steady the ship and been playing a lot of great teams, great football, and they've been winning games, and they are actually in the top 4 in the league. So we'll see where we go from there. And for Accra Lions, it's simple, more of the same. What you did last year, just replicate it. You will lose players, you will sell players, you will gain new players. It's how the structure of the league and how your team is going to be based on. And for them, the more of the same. They've been playing good football. Yes, they always have to play at Accra Sports Stadium because it's a very bad place to play on. But that's the thing. They know how to play good football. And they are following the Wafa model, but theirs is more like they know what they need to do and they are not going to, trust fully on young players. And that's what makes them more identical. Plus, Ibrahim Tanko's knowledge in the Black Stars, yes, although he's failed, he's actually guided this team well, and they're also in the top half of the league. One of the teams that I saw that was going to struggle was Bibiani Stars, apparently because of the situation between the striker who won the Golden Boot last year with 14 goals, got $5,000 as a dentistry appointment. That, come on now, the GFA needs to do better. However, with the good guidance of Michael Osei, the team hasn't really struggled. It's more of the same. And they were able to include one of Ashanti Group's or one of Ghana's most deadliest free kick to expect option in Apia McCarthy. So look, they're going to be hanging in the league and it's not going to be that good. For Legon Cities, yeah, it's for them it's high tide because they've actually won 2 of their 3 games. However, their PR report is not really that good. After one of their goalkeepers unfortunately passing away, it has been coming to the public's attention that they've not been taking care of their players, allegedly. As I said, we are just summarizing what the month looked like for them. It's not really that great, but they've been able to resign a striker from the Division 1 who has been scoring goals lately, and he has done well. He has done very well. Only time will tell how they are able to go in the league. That's all I can say about them. We hope what October brings to them will be okay. And to the officiating, it's been worse. Yes, we've seen it. The goal against Bando House of Lions, the penalty dispute, everything is happening. The league, in terms of refereeing, is either referees don't know the laws or they don't know how to follow the laws. That's all I can say. All we hope is that the referees that have done well, such as Daniel Lahaye, will be able to be at least the standard bearers of what good refereeing should be. We're still struggling with that and we don't know what is going to happen, but what we can say is that in the month of October, it should be better. Alright, and that is the end of the Pep Power Premier League review or the Pep Power Premier League report for the month of September. We will get up to speed with what is going to happen in October as the month culminates and November. Providing that on December or January, the AFCON will be there, so the report might not be based on clubs, it might be just based on the national team. So for more of this, you can just go ahead and subscribe. We will keep you up to date with what happens over the month. And by the way, we are going to do 2 new videos, one of which is the House of Folk problem in terms of their play style, and then the second one will be dealing with what has led to the 10 to or decade-long absence from CAF competitions group phases. We are from the Pitchside. We'll see you then in the next